This is literally one of the only times where I've listened to Kamala Harris speak continuously and not gone, oh my God, this is so boring. How can Biden help Harris? Importance of Harris-Trump debate. More on 2024 campaign. In a field of bad decisions, it seems that the Biden administration is going to continue the bad decisions. They're doing a rally together in Pittsburgh. Tying Kamala Harris to Joseph Robinette Brandon is obviously a pretty awful idea, considering why Kamala Harris is currently running as the presidential candidate and why Joe Biden is not, because he was deeply unpopular. But it is what it is, it seems. It's just like you can't reason with these motherfuckers. It's crazy to me that, like, Kamala Harris is just forgetting why she is the presidential candidate right now, as opposed to Joseph Robinette Brandon. It makes no sense. Anyway, how can Biden help Harris win? By staying away from the campaign. That's what I think.
There was some polling over the weekend suggesting that she didn't get much of a bounce out of the convention either, nor did Trump after his, and it effectively remains a tied contest. But he continues to lead on key issues like the economy, inflation, border security. What does she need to be doing, especially maybe this week as people start paying more attention, to get ahead on those issues?
Yeah, I think Democrats feel very good about where Kamala Harris is. I mean, that poll that you're referring to, she's +6. That's 52%. Barack Obama had 53% in 2008. She can win at that number. It's very clear that Harris was ascendant through the end of the summer. I think what she needs to do is to continue to expand her pool of available voters. The anti-Trump coalition is the largest coalition in American politics, and I think Kamala Harris has done the work necessary to make herself available to those voters. I think she'll continue to do that.
And we got a debate next week. Obviously, they matter because if not, President Biden would still be in the race, perhaps. But how critical could that be for her and for him?
Critical opportunity for her to continue to introduce herself to the American people who still are learning about her. I think that debate will be interesting to see also how Donald Trump reacts to.
This is so dumb, dude. If the entire reason as to why you are personally capable of running for president is because the person who's the current president that you're the vice president of is so deeply unpopular that he had no outcome of winning the election, why the f would you ever do campaign stops where you guys are like side by side? It doesn't make sense. So like Biden, no, that's what I'm saying. Exactly. Why the f is she like, why? I don't get it. I don't know. I don't know, dude.
Kamala Harris on stage, he reacted a certain way to Joe Biden, where he went after him, where he tried to paint him as weak. I think what Kamala Harris with Joe Biden is going to, rather what Donald Trump is going to try to do is to, draw her out a little bit on some of the issues that he would rather talk about as opposed to the issues that she would rather talk about. He wants to make it about identity. He wants to make it about culture war. I think Kamala Harris is going to have a lot of work to do to prevent that debate from going into that type of conversation.
All righty, Joel Payne, good to see you here in New York. In case anyone forgets, 64 days to go. The countdown now officially begins post-Labor Day. Joel, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Kamala will not lose and will give Democrats even more power over progressives just to give up and vote for Kamala. I think it doesn't really matter the electoral consequences of like the left wing of the party actually voting or not voting for Kamala Harris. We don't really have a democratic process. Like, I'll be very real with you. Biden is live with Harris now. Oh God, here, look at this asshole.
I want to thank Liz Schuler, the AFL-CIO, and Kenny at the IBEW for that strong endorsement. By the way, we have an expression in Delaware. IBEW, when I ran for president, they're the ones that brung me to the dance starting off. Not a joke. And Dave McCall, the steelworkers. Dave, in 1972, steelworkers were the first union to endorse a 29-year-old kid named Joe Biden who wasn't old enough to be senator when he got elected.
Do we have captions? Because it's impossible for me to follow along with what he's saying without captions. Is there a captioned link?
Forces in Claymont, Delaware, and North, over 4,000 workers. And it was, anyway, it all went south. But Huey went to the national president, I.W. Abel, and he said he wanted me to get endorsed. Everybody thought it was crazy. I literally wasn't old enough to be sworn in the day I got elected. But guess what? President Abel stuck with me. And they got stuck with me for the rest of my career. Eric Dean of the workers. Tim Driscoll of bricklayers. April Bell of the SEIU. Lee Saunders of ASME. We also got some of the best elected officials in America. Governor Josh Shapiro is doing an incredible job. The great Lieutenant Governor Austin Davis.
He's so old, bro.
And Sir Namato, county executive, I think is the hardest job in American politics. Everybody knows where you live and they think you can solve all the problems. You don't have enough money. But I tell you one thing, I'm the first president ever. I used to be a county official when I was 26 years old, and it always bothered me that the federal government would send money to the state to be distributed to the county. Well, what the hell is the state going to send to the county for? All the state reps need the money. But guess what? Under my administration, it goes straight to the county. One of my best friends, my name's Joe Biden. I'm from Scranton, Pennsylvania. Bobby Casey's been a great friend. His dad was a great friend as well. And by the way, we grew up 3 blocks from one another. 3 blocks. And they still worry about us by showing up. And guess what? I was on North Washington Avenue. He was in Adams.
Dude, he's so old. One of these days, he's just going to perish on stage when he's delivering one of these speeches. Like, that's part of the reason why I watch this shit. For those of you who are like, oh, why do we care about this old? Like, who cares? But like, 1, I want to see how they message around Biden. And 2, it's like, he is so goddamn old, dude. He might literally fall off the stage.
If you're in a foxhole, you want Fetterman in there with you.
Boom.
He couldn't be here today, but guess what? He sent the best part of the family, Giselle. She's here. Let me just say, it means so much to be with a true friend, the Vice President and the next great President of the United States of America, Kamala.
I'm not kidding when I say, look at the way look at the way Kamala Harris looks at Biden versus how she looks at Tim Walz.
Look, folks, I come from 2 neighborhoods where it's not hard to say the word union. But you know what? The fact of the matter is, an awful lot of politicians have a trouble saying union, like working people. That's right. Guess what? I'm not one of them, neither is Kamala. We know the simple truth. Wall Street did not build America. The middle class built America, and unions
built the middle class. I've heard it so many times. Wall Street did not build America. The middle class built America, and the unions built the middle class.
My dad was a really well-read guy, and he was always engaged. And he'd come home from work before he'd go back and close up the shop and for dinner. And the dinner was a place where we had discussions and incidentally ate. You know, my dad taught me. My dad would say this all the time. Remember, Joey, a job, and I give you my word to this, a job is about a lot more than a paycheck. It's about your dignity. It's about the community. It's about your place in the community. And it's about being able to look your kid in the eye and say, honey, it's going to be okay, and mean it. Well, that's why.
That's a ridiculous conversation to have with your dad over dinner, bro. Get the f out of here. I don't believe that at all, okay? His dad did not say that. My dad's stories are the reverse of like when people say like when they get libbed up and they're like, oh, when Ruth Bader Ginsburg died, like my 6-year-old said Ruth Conda forever. Like it's literally that, but in the reverse side. Yeah, dude, no, your dad didn't say that, okay? Just like your dad didn't invent like, that's a Felix bit, but something Joe Biden regularly brings up is like, my dad told me, Joey, I saw gay people. Love is love, Joey. That's what my dad used to say. Which is why in 2010, I was still barely an advocate for gay marriage.
Well, thanks to our infrastructure law, Pennsylvania so far has received $17 billion. $17 billion. Over 2,000 projects, from clean water to affordable high-speed internet for every Pennsylvanian. The projects that include $858 million to expand the Montgomery Lock better to accommodate bigger barges, to get millions of tons of goods and shelves faster, more reliable, and create thousands of union jobs. I was working on the Great Lakes, and I got a call from Senator Casey. He's been no bigger champion than Casey for this. You know what I call him? I call him the Casey Locks. Not Goldilocks, the Casey Locks. Bobby's also a champion of Pennsylvania's energy communities. We passed what's called the Casey credit available to 45 Pennsylvania counties for energy jobs such as coal mining.
I can't do this. I can't. It's so boring. Oh my God. It's just so
before
shitty.
We came to office. The Casey credit provides major incentives for companies to build new battery factories, wind turbines, and more. Create high-paying jobs in those coal and natural gas communities. And on top of that, there's over $4 billion.
Okay, he sounds really vibrant now.
Energy manufacturing here in Pennsylvania. $4 billion.
Damn, he sounds really good now. Shit, I spoke too soon, Chad.
We expanded registered apprenticeships. Remember all the hell I got for doing that? We got for doing that? Well, guess what? Resulted in hiring over 1 million apprentices since we came to office. Yeah. And lots of folks don't realize getting an apprenticeship is like getting a college degree. Why? You have to train for 4 or 5 years to get that, and some of the best workers in the world are right where we are. You know? When you're in Pittsburgh, you're standing with steel workers. Let's be clear. I believe in American steel companies. American-owned and operated steel companies.
What are you doing? Oh, Kamala's gonna make the announcement that they're not selling to the Japanese company.
American steelworkers are the best steelworkers in the world. And I made it clear last time I was in Pittsburgh, United States Steel, an iconic American company for more than a century, is going to remain an American company.
That's what they're talking about. Like, that's what they're here to do. I guess Biden kind of cucked her, though. It was supposed to be her saying that.
We made a lot of progress, and Kamala and I are going to build on that progress, and she's going to build on it. I'll be on the sidelines, but I'll do everything I can to help. But look.
All right, bro, enough yapping. Like, come on, get the Kamala, Jesus Christ. I mean, she sucks too, but holy dude, I'd be pissed. He's just still yapping.
You think he...
HasanAbi, dude, you're so damn negative. Like, what the I wonder why I'm so damn negative about a 800-year-old lizard person who had to drop out of the race because he's so goddamn unpopular that it was impossible for him to win, being placed in the forefront of the goddamn current political campaign for the Democratic Party. I wonder why. Like, it's so stupid that Biden is out here talking about any of these accomplishments when it shouldn't be. It should be, all the good stuff should be attributed to Kamala Harris, and all the bad stuff should be attributed to Joseph Robinette and Brandon, and he should just be quiet on the side.
By the way, remember all the talk, Biden got elected and he's going to do a planned economy. We're going to collapse and there's going to be all this caving in. Interest rates are going to go through the ceiling.
Oh,
Come
God.
on, man. I'm here to tell you.
Wait, what? Interest rates are going to go through the ceiling?
Everyone in America deserves a fair shot. No.
Why did you mention that part?
Then there's only, if you care about the dignity of work, there's only one person you have a rational choice with this time. And that's Kamala Harris. Not a... Let me tell you about this woman. I know her. I trust her. Not a joke. I trust her. Number two, the first decision I made, the nominee in 2020, was selecting her as my vice president. And by the way, it was a single best...
Again, great message, worst messenger. This is another great message, worst messenger moment, okay?
And I have spent more time with this extraordinary human being when the cameras were not in the room, when the stakes were high, when the heat was intense. And Joe Biden has always stood with the workers of America and labor unions of America. Always. Always. I've been with him when he'll bring folks into the Oval Office. And you know how Joe can get sometimes. He doesn't spare words. It's good that sometimes the cameras are not in the room when he has those conversations. Because the thing about the Joe Biden I know, and I know you know, because he has been a friend of labor for so long, for his whole life, Joe Biden can be quite impatient. And that's a good thing for that kind of leader. Quite impatient. And I say to all of the friends here, the press that's in the room, history will show what we here know. Yeah. Joe Biden.
I'm voting for Biden, dude. He's right.
You know, in this election, there are two very different visions for our nation. Sure are. One, ours, focused on the future. The other, focused on the past. Fight for the future. We fight for a future of dignity, respect, and opportunity for all people. Yeah. We fight knowing it's some backward thinking for those folks who have been suggesting for years that the measure of the strength of a leader is based on who you beat down. You know, that's the stuff they're pushing. That's right. That the measure of the strength of a leader is based on who you beat down, when we know the true measure of the strength of a leader is based on who you lift up. Who you lift up. Do you fight for workers? Do you fight for families? Do you fight for those who must be seen?
I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of wild how hard she goes. On like the pro-labor message, both her and Joe Biden kind of pop off big time.
So we're 64 days out from this
is
election.
Literally one of the only times where I've listened to Kamala Harris speak continuously and not gone, oh my God, this is so boring.
We'll start dropping in 14 days.
No, I don't mean Walt. I mean Joe Biden as
and
well.
This election is, as much as anything else, a fight for the promise of America. For the promise of America. We love our country. We love our country. And we know it is one of the highest forms of patriotism to fight for the ideals of our country. And that's what this election is about. And about the promise of America. And I don't need to tell unions what the promise looks like. It's what you do every day.
Dude, this is like an unthinkable type of message from a Hillary campaign. I hope you guys understand that. Like, it's not that long ago where like this kind of like hugging and kissing of the unions was unimaginable. Like they just took the union vote for granted. That was it. They were like, shut the fuck up and literally just vote for the Democrats. Who else are you going to vote for? I'm not even joking. Like, I mean, this is pandering, but it's good pandering. It's actually shocking. Blue MAGA communism, all ideologies intersect with Harris. Yeah, this is like a legitimate change of pace. And also, in comparison to her other speeches, this is like one that actually does have a little bit of spirit, which is shocking.
President Donald Trump blocked overtime benefits for millions of workers.
And by the way, I mean, they're going to start talking about like the policy differences as well, like what they will give to unions.
And don't forget, he supported so-called right-to-work laws. And if Donald Trump were to be reelected, he intends to give more tax cuts to billionaires and big corporations. He intends to cut Social Security and Medicare. He wants to impose what, in effect, would be a national sales tax. I call it the Trump national sales tax.
What is this? I don't want to at you. This is a shitty take. You're wrong to support the Dems. Are you serious? She said no one will ever be free. What are you talking about? What did I say that was like incorrect. You should just focus on the statements that I'm making and not the ones that you have imagined in your mind. Okay. In terms of the Democratic Party's track record, like this level of openly, outwardly pro-union support in an election cycle where they're trying to win an election in comparison to previous administrations and previous runs, this is unheard of. Okay. That much is true. This doesn't mean I'm like, oh my God, I love Kamala Harris. Go out and vote for her, please. Like I never said that, you know? I literally said, yeah, this is the first time I'm not dying of boredom while listening to Kamala Harris and chatter called you a Dem lover.
And we have some hard work then ahead of us. But here's the beauty of us in this room. We like hard work. Hard work is good work.
Wait, this is what you always say when there's no love from the left? Many holier than thou leftists think you stand with Harris because you went to the DNC. Some chatters were trying to convince Boy that you were a Kamala supporter, and Alexa was like, nah, I know him. Wait, trying to tell Alex and Alexa, dudes who I talk to on a daily basis, dudes who have like lived in my house for months on end when they come to America, dudes who I'm close friends with, what my political positions are is so funny. Alexa used, that's my real life friend. That's so funny, dude. Yeah, no, they're right. They got me. I'm glad that they're advocating for the truth in the Boy channel.
Ready to fight for it. And when we fight, we win. God bless you. God bless America.
That is what they do. That's why Hillary Clinton on Labor Day was addressing labor unions as well.